I am just now finishing up my job site. Looks like they're loading up a big truck. Got this, it's all oil equipment, some sort of a pump shop. Makes oil equipment work. But, yeah, this is how the country runs. For those of you who are wondering how come you have electricity or can gas up your car or things like that, places out in the middle of nowhere, rural areas, do a bunch of jobs that nobody else will do, and that's how stuff gets done. So thought I'd just take a quick little video and share it with you. I'm gonna hit the road and I'm gonna find me a taco truck. I will see you guys later. Alrighty, I just finished my job site and we're gonna be heading out. Real quick, take a look at the dash cam. The dashboard is 105 degrees out in this oil field. It is hot. It's actually a pump place. These guys build, basically they build and maintain the infrastructure that allows energy to get from one place to another, because it doesn't just get there on its own. And so we are heading out in search of a rumored taco truck, which apparently it's bright green and I can't miss it if it's there. And if it's not there, then I'll be driving a while without any lunch. So let's dodge the potholes. And so these guys take care of equipment. And I just talked to a truck driver who delivers this stuff all over the country. And it's all handled right here in Ratliff, Oklahoma. And so I do not see a taco truck here. And this should be the way back into town, because that's dead end. That's that semi truck I was talking about. So he's got a whole bunch of equipment loaded up. And so he's taking this stuff out to, I think, New Mexico, if I remember what he said correctly. Alright, so we are heading towards the metropolis of Ratliff. And I should probably fire up the GPS, because I have no idea how to get home from here. I am in kind of southwest Oklahoma. And, am I getting cell phone signal now? I am. Oh, nice. Alright. I will be able to find my way home. That's right. But I do not see the rumored taco truck, which is very sad. It's supposed to be bright green. I guess I'm more like south central Oklahoma. I'm not like super west. I'm west of I-35 though, which kind of runs down the middle of Oklahoma. So we're just gonna head on, we're heading on down the road here. And they said the taco truck usually sits between these gas stations. There's one gas station, there's the other gas station. I do not see the green taco truck, so I think we are not having tacos today. It is a very sad day for fat people everywhere when there's no taco truck. So, alright, well, I guess we will head over to the highway and head north, and there's a Brahms somewhere along the way. Or maybe I'll just wait till I get back to normal. It's already almost 3:30. So I'm well past lunch anyhow. This quick job site turned out to not be quite so quick. So maybe I just skip lunch, go back to Norman, and go grill a steak. That might actually be the better plan. So maybe we'll do that. But anyway, this is a good day. And I was working with a great team of guys, and we were able to solve our problems, get the networking equipment all working, and I'll have to go out there probably one more time to transfer some equipment over. And this is just how everything works, you got to keep the businesses running so they can do their job. This business facilitates energy transport, getting it out of the ground and getting it down pipelines and that kind of stuff. I know a lot of people, don't really understand kind of the integrated system that gets everything done. But if you spend some time out here in rural Oklahoma, there's a lot of small energy businesses that make everything happen. And it's not just all big oil. A lot of people think that it's all like the big oil companies that do it. And sure, there's big oil companies that invest a lot of money and stuff, but a lot of this stuff is handled by small businesses, just local folk. And, they need their jobs, and they're good paying jobs. So a lot of people kind of take that stuff for granted. I need to record a video when I drive out to one of my rancher clients so you guys can see where hamburgers come from. We'll skip the slaughtering animal parts because that doesn't suit me very well. I am more the eating type than the butchering type. But no, a lot of the world works in rural areas, and these big cities couldn't support themselves without the local rural producers that kind of make everything work. And you have these politicians, especially like these globals, like the World Economic Forum guys, are always like, centralize everybody into big cities. And they're largely doing that because they want to keep people corralled together and controlled. People are easier to manage when there's an oil well pumping, a couple of them. People are easier to manage when their movements are restricted and they're more easily tracked. Rural people are harder to deal with. They tend to be uppity and want to be left alone. But the problem is, without people working the rural areas, the cities don't function. And this is what a lot of people don't understand. And maybe it's, and you need the big cities to provide technology and services to the rural communities. Because you can have a lot of specialization in cities that they don't have out here. I had to drive 2 hours out to this remote location just because they didn't have somebody with my skill set in Ratliff, Oklahoma, which probably only has a population of, a few hundred people, maybe 1,000 people. I don't think it's that big. So, both ways of life have merit, but I think that the rural folk understand the necessity of cities more than the city folk understand the necessity of rural communities. And that's unfortunate. That's where we have a lot of problems in society, because people don't really understand what other people do and why people are necessary and why people do what they do. And so I was blessed in that I grew up in New York City, but I also grew up in rural Oklahoma and in rural Kansas, and so I got to play on farms and also run around a big city, and I sort of understood both lifestyles. And a lot of people really just don't get to experience a rural life. So many people are concentrated in these big dirty cities, and they really miss out on the freedom and peace and quiet of a rural lifestyle. And look, I like having city amenities, don't get me wrong. I like being able to go grocery shopping at 3 in the morning, or only have to drive 15 minutes to get to work. I don't want to have the long commutes, and it's very convenient to have city amenities. But I live in a small city at the edge of town. I don't live in a big metropolis anymore. And there's benefits to being in a big metropolis, but you need that place to escape to. People in rural communities don't need a place to escape to. They already live there. And there's a certain sense of self-reliance that you have to develop in rural communities that you don't necessarily get in a big city. Certainly not the same way. Oh, that's a bumpy road. Yeah, the roads out here aren't fantastic. They're not bad. This isn't a bad road. It's just not a great road. It's better than some of the roads I've seen in Eastern Europe, that's for sure. But it's a rural country highway. Reasonably well maintained, but not fantastic. I think that people need to travel more. If you live in a city, in a big city especially, get out and travel more, broaden your horizons, see other places. And if you live in a rural community, you should spend time in a big city. There's a lot of cool things you can see there and experience. And travel abroad and see other cultures and learn about the world with your own eyes. Because it's harder for people to lie to you. It's harder for the ruling class, for the ruling elites. It's harder for them to lie to you if you've seen the world with your own eyes. And that's something that a lot of people don't realize. A lot of these rural folk living, working in oil industries, a lot of them have traveled all over the world. To the Middle East, to the Caucasus. A lot of these guys have been all over the place because you have to in this line of work. And they live here by choice. It's what they want. So we should all be mindful of that. Anyway, I didn't find the taco truck. That's very sad, so I'm just going to drive on. And I guess I'm going to go home and find a steak to grill. But I'm going to relax and enjoy the drive through nature. Farmland is a wonderful thing. I would love to own a farm. I wouldn't want to work on a farm. That's a lot of work. Never underestimate how hard these people work. They work their butts off. Be grateful you have a cushy life sitting and typing away at your computer. It is hard work being outside in 100-degree plus heat, doing things that you have to do with your hands. You can't just push a button and get it done. You've got to load that truck. You've got to feed those animals. You've got to do physical things, and it's mental as well. You have to know what you're doing, otherwise people can get hurt. So never underestimate what people have to do to make the world function, so that we can enjoy our urban luxuries. And so I would advise everybody, I'm sure people have family who live out in the middle of nowhere, friends. Find an excuse. Go take a vacation in a small town. Hotels are cheap there. There's lots of great diners around the country where you can just eat wonderful food that's probably not super healthy for you, but tastes great. And just explore what the world has to offer. Even just here in America, driving around America, you can see so many different things. And so I want to inspire people with a sense of adventure. So that's my message for today. Go out and do cool things and go to cool places and get outside your comfort zone and broaden your horizon. Gain wisdom about the world. And tell me where that taco truck is, because I was really looking forward to a good taco truck. That's all for now. I'm going to go drive and enjoy my journey. And I will see everybody later. Thank you and goodbye. I would like to take a moment to show everybody what a wrong turn looks like. So my GPS lost signal. I have no idea where I am, and I am in the middle of a gravel road in a field. Yep, this is what a wrong turn looks like in the middle of nowhere, Oklahoma. But that's all right, because I know that if I go north, I will eventually run into Highway 9 or I-40 and I can find my way home. And if I go east, I will eventually run into I-35. So I know that I am south of I-40 and west of I-35. And so if I go east, which it's afternoon, so the sun's to the west, so the sun's behind me now, and I am heading east, presumably. And this should take me closer to I-35. And so we're just gonna enjoy the journey because it's a nice day. It's hot as balls, but I have air conditioning, and those horses don't. I feel bad for them, but they're horses. They're good at this kind of stuff. They have water and shade, so they'll be all right. So we're just going to enjoy a nice drive down a country road. At least we have pavement again, so this is good. And still never found that taco truck, but that's okay. And so it's always a good idea when you travel, especially in like rural areas, to have a general sense of where you are and roughly which way you have to go to get home, because you're not always going to have a GPS. Fortunately, I think my GPS is getting signal again, and it looks like I'm going in a good enough direction, so that's good. And it looks like there is some sort of a highway up ahead. Let's make sure I don't get splattered by a truck. Yep, we're good. All right. And here we are going presumably east. Hey, look, we're still going east. Good job, me. We are going in a correct enough direction, and we will eventually return to civilization. Wynnewood, I know that town. It's not very big, but it's bigger than Ratliff, so we are going in a positive direction. And I have a little bit of signal on my phone again. Nope, never mind, I don't. I lost it. Oh well. So, life is full of adventures, and you should not be afraid. Also, I have a full tank of gas, and it is easier to be adventurous when you have a full tank of gas. So, a couple rules for survival in the summertime in rural Oklahoma. Full tank of gas and extra water in the car because it is hot and you will get thirsty, and you don't want to end up lacking either gas or water, especially if you get lost. So there's my words of wisdom, and we are continuing our journey home. Look how beautiful this is. This is great. Maybe I'll just record driving along, just having a good old time on this little highway. Don't expect to go super fast, because you might find yourself behind a truck, and you don't want to necessarily pass anybody on a blind road, because you can get yourself killed when the oncoming truck comes and gets you, and I don't want to find out if the Isekai thing is real. So Truck-kun is not your friend. There's Truck-kun coming along right now. That is a big angry truck, and so yeah, don't be passing people blindly. Fortunately, there's not that many people out here to begin with, so you can just kind of cruise along and not worry about it too much. So that beep is my phone saying it has signal again, and somebody probably sent me a message. And if you ever want to know why people need four-wheel drive vehicles, yeah, rural Oklahoma is a good example of why you want four-wheel drive vehicles, or at least a high off-the-ground vehicle. My company van and the company SUV aren't four-wheel drive, but they're high enough off the ground they can do okay with this stuff as long as it's not like muddy and nasty. So, and this reminds me a little bit of like eastern New Mexico also, before you get to, not quite, there's more trees here, but western Oklahoma and eastern New Mexico share a little bit in common. I should make a video driving out to the volcanic caldera in New Mexico. There's like an extinct volcano that's really cool. Maybe I'll go road trip out there when I have a day off. Energy transfer. Well, that's part of a pipeline right there. So here we go, driving down the highway. I don't really have anything else to say. I just wanted to kind of share that, a little bit of humor when I got lost. So I'm going to kick back and just enjoy the drive. And I'll see everybody next time. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. I hope you liked the video. If you did like it, subscribe to my channel and share it with your friends. You can also check out my website, Bobtheorc.com, where you can download a free copy of my dad's book and some other things. Have a nice day. Goodbye.